Hey, Vikings fans, Daniel House here. I wanted to do a film breakdown to walk you through some of the things that Gary Kubiak did to get the Vikings offense back on track. And it starts with play action. The Vikings play action percentage was around 50% of their dropbacks against Houston. And this is something that allows Kirk Cousins to get into a rhythm. Their first down play action percentage was high, so they're passing more on first down. The condensed splits allowed for free releases, created space, gave Kirk Cousins cleaner passing windows. And then not only that, but the motion at the snap, the creativity, less static offense. The first few weeks, I thought the offense was extremely static, predictable, a lot of deep drops. Kirk Cousins is a quarterback that has to get into rhythm through creating motion, play action, misdirection, those deep crossing routes, three-level reads. We're going to talk about one of the route concepts the Vikings used against Houston to attack cover three, super effective, maximize Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. But it comes back to, like I said, the condensed formations. That's one of the key takeaways that I had in this game. Tightening up the wide receiver splits. It creates space, and it not only helps the passing game, but it helps the running game too. You're able to get better blocking angles in the second level of the defense. And not only that, but the misdirection creates a lot of read and react problems for the linebackers of the opposing defense. So everything ties together. The motion at the snap was so low in the first couple of weeks that just a couple of percent the Vikings were using it. In this game, it was much better, and they were able to get the offense in a rhythm and back on track. Kirk Cousins is super rhythmic. He's got to get in a groove early, and you have to use play action to help him do that and simplify the reads. I think Gary Kubiak said it best early on in the season. He's like, I got to get some guys open for Kirk. I didn't think the play designs were great over the first couple of weeks just because Cousins did not have a lot of options at every level. Now you see some of these three-level reads, how he's able to create space for the receivers and maximize Justin Jefferson, who is an absolute star. And that's where I want to start first is with Justin Jefferson. I also cut up routes from the Tennessee game just to show you guys the route running diversity that Justin Jefferson has displayed through the first couple of weeks. I think that's been the most impressive takeaway from me. The underneath concepts, the outs, the in-breaking stuff, the deep crossers, the corner routes, the vertical extension routes, the body control on those vertical extension routes. He's showing us what he can do by getting open off a variety of different routes. It's not like you have to create designs to get this guy open all the time. He has the route running skills to stress the defense. And I love that we've been able to see him get open off of press coverage. It's something that a lot of people were concerned about when he came out in the draft. And he's shown off his versatility. The Vikings have been able to mix and match Adam Thielen and Jefferson because they both have such unique skill sets. And you see a lot of similarities in their game, the deep crossers, the body control, the contested catch skills. And I think Justin Jefferson, the yards out of the catch potential hasn't even been fully maximized yet. There's going to be a lot of concepts drawn up. I'm excited to see what he can do against the Seattle secondary. Has struggled a lot through the first couple of weeks, giving up a lot of yards to big-time receivers, and Justin Jefferson has shown us that he can stress defenses through a variety of different route concepts, and Gary Kubiak's done a nice job of maximizing him. I think he was easing him along for the first couple of weeks, and now the training wheels have come off, and it's time to unleash Justin Jefferson, and now we'll get the chance to see what he can do over the next couple of weeks, building off the things that he's done. But the route running, guys, so impressive for a young player that hasn't had a lot of time in contact with the coaches. Jerry Sullivan at LSU did a phenomenal job of teaching Justin Jefferson how to run routes, and it's showing up on Sundays in the NFL now. I also wanted to talk about the adjustments that Gary Kubiak made in this game specifically. I know Gary talked a lot about the concepts that the Vikings were running over the first couple of weeks, weren't giving Kirk Cousins as many options as they should. And I agree with that. The offense was very static. Cousins was taking deep drops. Receivers are running long developing routes. And it went away from the principles that worked so well last year for Kirk Cousins, and that's the play action. You saw it. Play action passing on around 50% of the dropbacks last week. The motion at the snap, the misdirection, these tight splits by the wide receivers, the condensed formations make a big difference because the DBs have to play off. You don't see as much press coverage. You're creating space. And then in the play action game, you're getting those linebackers to bite, clearing room, and then creating conflict in the back end of the defense, which is what happened with this specific concept that Gary Kubiak ran off play action. It's a variation of the sail concept. Normally, a sail concept, you'd maybe have two receivers lined up on the same side, and you'd have a corner route and a vertical go route. This situation, they ran a variation of it where Justin Jefferson runs a go route and stems kind of inside. You see CJ Ham's going to leak out into the flat here, and then you're going to have the deep intermediate crosser by Adam Thielen on the opposite side of the formation. We'll run through the play. I want to note a couple of things here. The safety rotates into the box. They're in cover 3, so the free safety's over the top. And this creates a conflict because the safety has to determine, okay, do I help over the top? My corner's getting beat vertically. I can't really come down and try to jump that route that Thielen's running. I got to help over the top. And so space is created. You see the underneath defenders there. There was a miscommunication. You got two guys covering CJ Ham when he leaks out. And this is the type of thing that you want to do to attack cover 3. You're going to have weaknesses from the numbers to the hash marks on the opposite side of the field. You're trying to move defenders and create conflict between the corner and the safety. And then Kirk Cousins has a great opportunity to make a wide open throw to Adam Thielen, and then he makes a play after the catch. And this wasn't the only time that they used this to attack cover 3. You see the safety already rolling in this situation, condensed split again, cornerbacks playing off the line of scrimmage. So, again, creating space and 3-level reads for Kirk Cousins, because you have the opportunity to not only make the throw on the intermediate crosser, the deep vertical route, but you also have that leak option. In this situation, Irv Smith's coming out and occupying that flat defender, the linebacker. Adam Thielen's running the go route. The free safety's going, okay, I'm going to help there. Take away that vertical go route. And then Justin Jefferson has the opportunity to make that play between the numbers and the hashes again. And it's just phenomenal play design. It's easy pitch and catch opportunities because of Gary Kubiak's attacking the cover 3 perfectly. And this is a play that a lot of coaches love to use. I see it in college a lot. I was watching Clemson. They were using it quite a bit in the game last week. And I look at Kirk Cousins. This is the type of rhythmic offense that he has to play with. And you've got to create opportunities for him to make different reads, have different options. He's not an off-script guy. You got to get the ball out quick, create space for him in the passing concepts, because you do not want Kirk having to make plays with his legs all the time. And through the first couple of weeks, the offense was static, and they didn't take advantage of the skill sets that they had through design. And Gary Kubiak has done a nice job of adapting. And I thought this offense looked a lot like it did last year in terms of the conceptual things that they used. And now I want to walk through another aspect of Gary Kubiak's play calling last week, and it was the use of motion at the snap. If you've been following me on Twitter, you know I've been clamoring for motion at the snap from the Vikings offense, and a lot of you have asked why. And I always tell you that it combines in nicely with the passing and running games. You got to be able to be an offense that's not static, moving defenders in the second level, creating deception. The motion moves defenders and gives you options in the running game. And not only that, but in the passing game, if you motion players, you can also get solid matchups based upon just miscommunication, running out of bunch sets. The condensed splits work nicely with this type of motion as well, because you can leak your receivers out, leak a tight end out, leak a back out. There are just so many options that directly tie into condensed splits, motion, and play action. And those are 3 things that the Vikings do so well. And I thought Kevin Stefanski did a nice job last year of blending all those things together and creating the best opportunities for his players to be successful. And I want to walk you through this specific play here. Another condensed split with the receivers. You're going to see Adam Thielen with the jet sweep here, moves defenders, and then creates a crease for Dalvin Cook to rush in for the touchdown. Again, more jet sweep. This time you also have CJ Ham crashing down hard. You can see the linebacker in the middle of your screen bite on that. Alexander Madison does a nice job of being really patient, reading the defense, cutting back, and then getting the touchdown. Again, motion, key part of the red zone rushing concepts that we saw in this game that resulted in touchdowns. Motion at the snap again with Conklin, and then motion pre-snap motion with Conklin, and then motion at the snap with Adam Thielen on the end around. And I love what I saw with this end around. They ran the end around early in the game. Then again, they tied it to a play in the red zone here. Condensed stuff up again, creating more misdirection in the backfield, attaching the end around to it. And then Dalvin Cook just doing what he does best. Gary Kubiak talked about this. What an incredible run, breaking like 4 tackles, getting to the end zone. Dalvin Cook, the yards after contact is, we all know it. It's the impressive trait because he makes a lot out of nothing in some situations where run blocking breaks down. He's able to get 3 yards on a play that should have been a -1. He turns negative plays into positive ones, and the Vikings did a nice job of not only creating opportunities for him in the rushing game, but also running a swing pass to him that was designed, getting Garrett Bradbury out in space. You've got to create touches for Dalvin Cook. Get the guy the football as much as you can, and then take advantage of the receivers that you have, Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, with their versatility. Again, it comes back to all the things that we talked about in this video, guys. More play action. That's the key. Gotta continue to get Kirk Cousins in a rhythm. Motion at the snap, was able to move defenders and create more rushing creases, and then that directly attaches to your passing game, gives you options to leak players out, run bunch sets, pick plays, different things like that. We saw the crossing routes that we've become accustomed to in the intermediate and deep passing game, and we talked about how the Vikings attacked Houston's cover 3 and created a lot of challenges there. Again, combination of misdirection, creativity, play action, less static offense, creating favorable matchups for your players. And Gary Kubiak bounced back, showed some of the things that the Vikings were able to do so well last year and create a stable environment for Kirk Cousins. You don't want him going off script a ton. Those 3-level reads, having the deep ball, the intermediate ball, and then the leak out option. Love that for Kirk Cousins, being able to give him some more structure, because you don't want to see him going off script as much. So I plan on doing some of these videos, guys, to kind of give you an insight into each game. I've been spending a lot of time on my Gophers content over on gophersguru.com. Gophers kick off in 2 weeks. I've been really busy with my membership subscription-based platform. If you want to go check out Gophers content, go to gophersguru.com. $5 a month gets you access to all my premium content. Did a lot of studies this offseason. I believe there's over 50 studies, video breakdowns, film stuff, analytics, all the stuff that you want to know about the Golden Gophers. They have a chance to have a really good season this year, so everyone can get studied up, prepare for the season, and head over to Gophers Guru just to see all the content that I'm doing. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time. I'm excited to watch the game on Sunday against the Seahawks.